Hello, welcome to another episode of Child Abuse Awareness with Darlene J. Clark. Be a part of the solution instead of part of the problem. This is my book right there, Shattered Innocence Revised. It'll soon be available also at Barnes & Noble. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and to share. Remember to speak up against child abuse. Please hit the bell icon to be notified when I have a show. Thank you so much. So today we're going over in Pulaski, Tennessee. Multiple people were arrested in a daycare center. This is the main lady who did the main thing, and everybody else. The reason why 4 teachers were arrested, they failed to report. So Erica, Monique Coleman, let's get on with the story in a few minutes after I do my normal things. Copyright disclaimer under Section 107 of the Copyright Act of 1976. Allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, scholarship, and research. Fair use is a use permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing. Nonprofit, educational, or personal use tips the balance in favor of fair use. Thank you so much. And I want to make sure to put this helpline up here as well. If you suspect child abuse, call the Child Help National Child Abuse Hotline at 1-800-4-A-CHILD or 1-800-422-4453 or go to www.childhelp.org. All calls are toll-free and confidential. The hotline is available 24/7 in more than 170 languages. Without further ado, we need to learn to do right, seek justice, defend the oppressed, take up the cause of the fatherless, plead the case of the widow. It says it in Isaiah 1:17. I'll put a trigger warning in case it bothers anyone. Let me share the screen now. Share my proof behind what I'm saying. Anyone from Facebook, feel free to come in there and drop a hello in there, and I'll be glad to say hello to y'all as well. So this was from the Pulaski Citizen. We give them credit where credit is due. They did this Friday, February the 2nd, 2025. Multiple arrests made in daycare investigation. This May the 1st, 2025. By Chandler Harmon was his staff writer. The Pulaski Police Department has made several arrests following an investigation of Pulaski Daycare, Kid City, USA. According to a press release from the Pulaski Police Department, officers initially responded to the daycare facility March the 5th after receiving allegations of child abuse. Charges were filed that day for simple assault against 52-year-old Erica Monique Coleman of Pulaski, the PPD press release states. Pulaski Police Department. In the weeks that followed, Pulaski Police Department investigator Jordan Ramsey conducted a follow-up investigation to ensure there were no further victims related to this incident. It goes on to state, after an extensive investigation, Ramsey discovered multiple victims related to similar incidents involving Coleman. Due to the severity and sensitivity of the investigation, District Attorney General Brent Cooper called for a special session of the Giles County Grand Jury, the press release states. Investigator Ramsey presented her findings to the grand jury, resulting in multiple counts of assault, child abuse, aggravated assault, attempted aggravated assault, and attempted aggravated child abuse. On April the 24th, Coleman was booked into the Giles County Jail on the additional charges and is being held on $500,000 bond. She is set to appear in court May 12th. In addition, 4 teachers at the daycare have been arrested for failing to report child abuse, Ramsey said. They are Regina Griggs, Tamera Blake, Brittany Washington, and Patricia Petersen. Y'all know that y'all are mandated reporters, right? All 4 are scheduled to appear in court May 12th. This matter continues to be open pending further investigation, the release states. Anyone with a reasonable suspicion of child abuse or a neglect is a mandated reporter. Anyone. So if you see somebody hurting someone and you hurting a child or something and you're just going on by and you're just ignoring it, saying it's not part of my problem, under Tennessee law, anyone with a reasonable suspicion of child abuse or neglect is a mandated reporter under Tennessee state law. So that's not even suspicious. You saw the behavior. So, that's not suspicion. Reports may be made to the Department of Children's Services or local law enforcement. Reporters can maintain anonymous. Wow. So I want to look something up right quick. It's going to show y'all what I think it's the difference between child abuse and aggravated abuse. Aggravated. The It's right here. It's Haley's law. It says criminal offenses against family, children, aggravated child abuse, and aggravated child neglect or endangerment. So we going further down here and see what it says here. Okay. A person commits the offense of aggravated child abuse, aggravated child neglect, or aggravated child endangerment who commits child abuse as defined in Section 3915-401, child neglect as defined in 3915-401B, or child endangerment as defined in Section 3915-401. And number 1, the act of abuse, neglect, or endangerment results in serious bodily injury to the child. Okay, let's see. Did it not say that she already here was booked here as well for? Okay, she actually did aggravated assault and attempted aggravated assault and attempted aggravated child abuse. Multiple counts of it, y'all. Multiple counts. Not just one, but several. Okay? No telling how many in all. We are not going to find out probably till after the case. This is 2. A deadly weapon, dangerous instrumentality, controlled substance, or controlled substance analog is used to accomplish the act of abuse, neglect, or endangerment. 3. The act of abuse, neglect, or endangerment was especially heinous, atrocious, or cruel, or involved the infliction of torture to the victim. Or 4, the act of abuse, neglect, or endangerment results from the knowing exposure of a child to the initiation of a process intended to result in the manufacture of methamphetamine as described in Section 3917.435. A violation of this section is a Class B felony, provided, however, that if the abused, neglected, or endangered child is 8 years of age or less, or is vulnerable because the victim is mentally defective, mentally incapacitated, or suffers from a physical disability, the penalty is a Class A felony. So it's got to be a Class A felony because a lot of them at that Kids USA, I believe, are under the age of 8, if I'm not mistaken. C. Serious bodily injury to the child includes, but is not limited to, second or third degree burns, a fracture or any bone, a concussion, subdural or subarachnoid bleeding, retinal hemorrhage, cerebral edema, that means brain swelling, brain contusion, injuries to the skin that involve severe bruising, or the likelihood of permanent or protracted disfigurement, including those sustained by whipping children with objects and acts of female genital mutilation as defined in Section 3913.110. D. A dangerous instrumentality is any item that in the manner of its use or intended use as applied to a child is capable of producing serious bodily injury to a child. A serious bodily injury to a child is defined in this section. E. This section shall be known and be cited as Haley's Law. The court may, in addition to any other punishment otherwise authorized by law, order a person convicted of aggravated child abuse to refrain from having any contact with the victim of the offense, including but not limited to attempted contact through internet services or social networking websites, provided that the person has no parental rights to such victim at the time of the court's order. I think if somebody does that to a child, they shouldn't even be around any other child, right? It says these codes may not be the most recent version. Tennessee may have more current or accurate information. We may make no warranties or guarantees about the accuracy, completeness, or adequacy of the information contained on this site or the information linked to on the state site. Please check official resources. And I want to go in there, and now I want to go back and I want to go to Google, and I want to check out what Haley's Law. Okay, showing the same thing right here: the aggravated child abuse, aggravated child neglect. See, okay, I want to see how Haley's Law. Um, uh, Haley's Law. Ah, the CC order. Haley's Law, formerly Tennessee Code, Title 39, Criminal Offenses, 30, Section 3915.402, was enacted to address aggravated child abuse, neglect, and endangerment, particularly when involving specific circumstances like the use of deadly weapons or exceptionally cruel acts. The law was named after a young girl named Haley who suffered horrific injuries as a result of abuse. Let's get it right here. Haley's Law puts abuse charge against Hawkins' parents at same level as murder. Wow. They said right. here there's a Roger comes with aggravated child abuse. Wow, poor little kid. There's two different cases here, right? With the same potential penalty as a second-degree murder charge due to Haley's Law. The child's death was investigated last year by the Tennessee Department of Children's Services and Hawkins County Sheriff's Office as a potential shaken baby syndrome death. Although neither police nor the Attorney General's office have released information about the specific cause of death. The child's mother, Jennifer Lee Smith, 33. So you're going down further and stuff. No murder. Well, if they killed the child, it should be a murder investigation, right? It says so that brings in neglect, endangerment. Haley's law basically put neglect and endangerment into the same proposition as child abuse, so it would result in a Class A felony. As a Class A felony, aggravated child abuse can result in a sentence up to 60 years, depending on the defendant's prior criminal record. At a minimum, Armstrong noted the sentence will be 15 to 25 years, which is the same potential sentence as a second degree murder conviction. So we'll end up finding out more on this. Hey, Dan, good to see you. Thanks for coming in there, sister. Lots of love. But we do need to get it out there, and prayers for all the kids and everyone that was involved, even if your child was not involved in the initial hitting. Um, your child is a witness to these atrocious people doing these acts. And these four teachers did not speak up when they knew that Erica Monique Coleman was violent towards children. They just stood back. They did nothing. It was up to them to speak up. Thank you so much, and God bless you all.